Welcome to another episode of Big Impact Louisiana. I'm your host, Sharpel, and today we're spotlighting an organization that's been truly transformational in the lives of families across Shreveport, Providence House. Joining me is Sharpel Welch, the chief operating officer of Providence House and a passionate advocate for families experiencing homelessness. Providence House has been changing lives for decades, helping families experiencing homelessness not only find shelter, but helping them to rebuild the futures through comprehensive services, education, and advocacy. Um, Ms. Sharpel, we are so excited to have you here today, and I just want to thank you so much for joining us. So, I want to first get started, which is I want people to know a little bit more about exactly what is Providence House and what you guys are doing in Shreveport.
Sure. So Providence House has been around for over 37 years now. It was started to serve families with children who are experiencing homelessness. Um,
Mhm.
and so we do a lot of homelessness mitigation in our programming, as well as getting families with children on a path to sustainability,
Mhm.
permanent sustainability, yes.
Great. Can you walk us through a little of like the model and how the families move through your services?
Absolutely. So there's two ways you
Mhm.
get our services. First, if you are a family who is homeless with children, you will call our office. We have an intake process where they administer all kinds of assessments to figure out, where the deficits are in the path that got you to homelessness, right? And then each of those families is assigned a caseworker and a counselor, and they receive individualized plans for
Mhm.
sustainability. So they are housed here in our transitional living facility, but while they are here, they are required to, if they do not have high school education, they're required to get their high set, formerly the GED. Um, and if they do have that, they have the opportunity through our partnerships with our local community colleges to get licenses from
Oh,
everything
wow.
from forklift driving to phlebotomy to, nurse's aid, whatever they have an interest in. The goal is to get them to a point where they are earning a livable wage. And so those who are not employed and not in school, they get through our workforce development programming, they get help finding a job. And that's not just building a resume and going off to an interview, but they get all kinds of classes on how to market themselves, how to show up for work, and surprisingly, a lot of people just don't know how to be an employee. And so they get all of that training through our workforce development program here. The kiddos, while they are here, if they are school age, they are required to be registered in school. And those who are preschool age, ages birth to 5 years old, we have an award-winning child development center right
Wow.
here on our campus to where they receive, and we're fully STEAM. So all of those kiddos who are in our child development center actually graduate from our center kindergarten ready.
Oh, wow. That is really great. I'm so excited to hear. Award winning. Okay. I love.
Yes, we are a four-star child development
Oh,
center.
wow. That is so
No
great.
small achievement. Yeah,
No,
we're
that is
very
not a
proud of
small
it.
achievement at all. Congratulations.
So that's the programming for a family who lands at our doorstep, who is experiencing homelessness. We also have a homelessness prevention model as well. So families who are facing homelessness, maybe they've gotten an eviction notice or the bill, somebody has gotten sick or lost a job, or for whatever reason, they are facing homelessness. We have a whole department dedicated to mitigating homelessness in those families. So they have access to all those training and job readiness trainings and help finding a job through our workforce development. But they also have access to our housing program, which does two things: prevent homelessness by providing them just that temporary help that they need to get them over the hump, as well as making sure that they're also earning a livable wage so that they won't find themselves in this situation again. And what we call rapid rehousing. So
Mhm.
maybe they reach us right at the deadline. You know, today is the deadline. There is no time to pay up their rent to keep them from going homeless, getting home, becoming homeless. So we do rapid rehousing where we have partnerships with landlords and apartment complexes throughout our city where we can get them in a place and get them sustained long enough to get them back on their feet.
That's great. Oh gosh, I really want to go even further into that, but I'm not going to go off the rails because to me, one of the biggest important things is having those extra skills, those living skills, and those different trainings to help people through the process so they can be successful long term. So I'm so happy that you guys are prioritizing that. That's really important.
Absolutely, because believe it or not, most of the people who come through our shelter, they are working,
Right,
hardworking people. But a livable wage is probably about $14 an
right,
hour. Minimum wage is a little over $7 an hour. So there's a huge gap, right?
right.
And so we got to get them trained with skills that will net them one of those jobs that they can live and raise their family comfortably.
I agree. So a question more so for you. What actually brought you into this field and to Providence House overall?
Okay, so I've been probably doing community work in some capacity all my adult life.
Oh
I
wow.
was a very young youth minister in my church.
Oh wow.
Started a youth outreach program where I mentored young people. And so I was literally not much older than the teens that I served when I was doing this. And it comes from my grandmother. My grandmother did it. She didn't have an LLC or a nonprofit.
Mhm.
She just took in kids from the neighborhood, anybody needed help, people dealing with domestic violence. Our house was just a constant refuge for families like that. And so it's in my blood, right? And
Mhm.
so I moved back home to Shreveport from
Uh-huh.
Houston in 2008,
Okay.
started doing what I know to do. I started a youth outreach program, my husband and I, right out of our living room, and it grew exponentially. And somebody at the mayor's office, Cedric Glover was our mayor at the time, asked me if I knew about community renewal. And so we connected with community renewal, and I was working with them in the community for 16 years. Um, when I was approached by somebody who said, you know, Providence House is looking for an executive director. And I was like, well, I don't know. Let me think about it. And the rest is history.
Oh wow, that's great. No, that's a great story. And that you've been doing this type of work for so long. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, it's actually like breathing to me. I would do this for free. When I ran my own program, I literally worked a full-time job in order to be able to support what I
Hmm.
did in the community. So being paid to do it is just a blessing.
I agree. What are some of the we kind of talked about it, but what are some of the most rewarding parts of your day-to-day work that you get to do?
Day to day, it's seeing these young mothers or come through the door and they have landed their dream job, right? They
Hmm.
have struggled, got their GED or their high set diploma and gotten some sort of certification and they're a new nursing assistant. Or to see those kiddos who came in nonverbal, came into our child development center on the heels of trauma. Homelessness
Hmm.
causes trauma in
Right.
kids. And to see them we just had a graduation last week for our 5 year olds who will be going into public school. And to see them thriving
Hmm.
and just, you know, just so outgoing and just the love in the room and the support system that we've been able to build around them is just why I wake up and do what I do every morning.
I love that. Oh, I wish I could have saw this at graduation. Oh, I love a good little
The
kitty
cutest
graduation.
thing, yes, I cried the whole time.
Oh. So your program is really known for producing real and lasting outcome. If possible, can you share some of the impact data or a success story that stands out to you?
Sure. Actually, I have an impact report.
Oh,
And so we just got our 2024 data.
hmm.
And so in 2024, we we housed 161 families.
Wow.
We provided 18,723 nights of lodging.
Wow.
21 and a half thousand meals were served. And so we have over 350 um, individuals that we provided counseling for. So counseling services are part of our programming, right?
Hmm.
So like I said, homelessness causes a lot of trauma, right? And so we have to get to the root of those things. And so through partnership, we provide counseling. We have 27 families who were placed in new homes. And then 78 people from the community. So those 27 families were families that came through our program who were in our transitional living facility across the street. And
Hmm.
so then we have another 78 families from the community who we were able to place in homes to avoid
Right.
homelessness. So we don't just warehouse people, we try
Hmm.
to prevent it from ever happening again.
I
And
love
so we're pretty proud of that. So 84 people earned certifications in our workforce development program. So
Wow.
they got real skills to help them build a career, not
Mm,
just a job.
I love it.
Yeah, we're very proud, and it just goes on and on. We're just very proud of the work that we do.
So question, how are you using, because that's one of the things that we're trying to focus on in center, helping nonprofits utilize the data that they have available to them. How are you seeing or how are you currently using data to inform your work or improve some of the services that you guys are doing? Or at least
Absolutely.
what you're thinking about doing in the future?
Yes, so everything we do is data driven.
Mhm.
If the data doesn't speak to the success of something, we just cut it, right? So we
Mhm.
got to be good stewards of the dollars that are coming through the door. So we have created, or my predecessor had created what we call director reports. We have 9 directors over programming here at Providence House, and each month they submit a report that captures not only how many people they served, but what those services were, the assessments that the people came through the door. For instance, our intake, I can make a phone call, and that intake specialist will be able to tell me how many people came through the door who were homeless and jobless, or how many people had jobs. So we know that we need to pour more effort into the workforce development to get them better paying jobs. And so we have those director reports. We use a database for donors called Bloomerang.
Okay,
So we capture a lot of our data there. And then our phone system, we literally know how many phone calls we fielded in 2024.
that's great.
Yes, like it is astronomical, thousands
Wow.
of people looking for help. We also use data from our partners. We use the Community Foundation's report that they come out with every year to inform us, and work with the city and the parish, and,
Hmm.
and use that data that we don't have to capture, but we can use to inform us on the decisions we make here.
Hmm. I appreciate you from actually bringing up that you used the external data, the data that's surrounding your because I think that's something that's the missing piece. Everyone thinks they have to have all this data and do all this. I'm like, well, no, you're most likely not, but the data is there and it's available to you to use. You just have to, take some time and think about what exactly you want and find that source that's already it might be
The
out there.
source that holds it. I feel like in this community, sometimes we reinvent the
Mhm.
wheel a lot. And
Right.
if we can have more collaborative efforts where, you know, I, I'm a preacher. So
No,
for
you're fine.
one plants, one waters, you know what
Mhm.
I'm saying? And we don't all have to be doing the same thing. So I'm trying to be more informed through data that's already there, already being gathered from other sources.
I appreciate that. You actually just started touching on this about collaboration, and it's important to have like the different key partners and making this mission come to life. Why is collaboration so important, specifically for you and your organization, to help you in completing your mission?
So I believe collaboration is important for two reasons. First, I believe in the power of relationships, right? That's why I was with Community Renewal for 16 years because I believe in the mission. The relational foundation must be strong in order to get anything done in our community. And secondly, in the nonprofit world, just like in the entrepreneurial world, you never have enough money to do everything you need to do.
Right.
Right? So if it's being done, let's hook up with somebody that's already doing it and doing it well. There is
Hmm.
no need for me to be struggling to do something that's being done well somewhere else. So let's form partnerships with those organizations.
I love that. So more like a future vision type of question for you. What are your hopes for the future of Providence House and the families you serve? Any big initiatives like or big ideas that you've been thinking about that you're starting to work on or excited about?
Oh, I have a list of big ideas. But my vision would
Hmm.
be to create a scenario where our temporary or transitional living programs are more like a home,
Hmm.
right? So maybe creating a micro community that they graduate from the shelter into a micro community where they're literally in a house, right?
Wow. Yeah.
For a couple of years and then just solidifying and building, strengthening that foundation that they got when they launched from our shelter. And then move them from that community into home ownership
Wow. I love
so
that.
that we're not creating this hamster on the wheel
Hmm.
rental properties or whatever, but we are creating homeowners.
Hmm.
Data shows that when you have a homeowner, they are less likely to fall back into poverty or homelessness. So
Hmm.
that's my vision for Providence House.
I love it. One of my last questions out of two. What gives you hope? Like, what currently is giving you hope with everything going on in the world, and you all of the great work you're doing, and not enough resources that we have. What's giving you the hope right now?
I believe in the power of the human spirit. I believe nothing is happening in the world that
Hmm.
could destroy us. We'd have to do it ourselves. And
Hmm.
I believe there is enough good in humanity that we won't let that happen. Organizations like yours and others that come together to get the word out, to help gather data, or to partner in the day-to-day efforts of helping our community, I think that gives me hope. The human spirit, we are more powerful than we think, and we're more powerful together. So the more we come together, the more we will chip away at all those negative things that are happening in the world. The
Yeah,
greater good always succeeds, I believe.
that needs to be on a shirt. That is a good one. Yes, the greater good always succeed. I love it. If someone wants to get involved, how can they support your work?
Sure. So they can visit our website at www.theprovidencehouse.com. There is a link there where you can connect to volunteer, to donate, to come on a tour, or to offer your services. Partner with us. If you see where that you can be a help, like a couple of weeks ago, I got a call from a lady who's a birth doula, right? And she wants to provide training for the young mothers, parenting classes. Of course, we can partner together
Love
to
that.
teach these young mothers how to be better parents or whatever, or to give them some tools in their toolbox. So whether it's time, talent, or treasure, if you go to our website, you will find a place where you can plug in.
And I'll make sure it's a link that at the bottom so everyone could go to your website, learn more.
Yes,
donate, and get involved. If all do
absolutely.
all three. I
Absolutely.
want to thank you so much for sharing your story, the amazing work you guys are doing, and just for your. I'm grateful for your type of leadership and all of the great things you're putting out into the universe and into Louisiana, pouring back into Louisiana in the ways you are. I truly appreciate that. To everyone else, don't forget to like, comment, or subscribe to Big Impact Louisiana. And thank you guys for joining us for another episode. Bye bye.